Let's see.
Okay, 6250. 9/11 baking stream with Raf and Capri. If we get to this goal by 9/11, Capri,
Wait,
Raf, and I will
wait,
make the Twin Towers
bro,
out of a stacked cake,
bro,
and we'll make an airplane.
bro,
We'll
bro. I mean, is she wearing one of the typical things that you would cover yourself with for like the Muslim religion stuff? I forget what they're called. Is she wearing one of those and talking about she like they'll build the Twin Towers as a cake and make it blow up? That's rough. That's dark. That is so dark. That was such a back in school. Back in school when 9/11 actually happened, and for many, many, many years after, well after I was out of school, um, I still remember schools for the longest still doing a moment of silence for 9/11. That would be so fucked up to make a cake like that.
9/11.
And she's like smirking like it's funny or like it's a QTI, like it's cute. It's not cute, yo. That's not cute. That's not cute. Homeboy don't got like. Is this the same chick that was just up there talking about fucking? Thank God. Oh, I didn't know about this stuff. I don't even know who this is. But this one right here, like I don't even know what their content is. I watched a single goddamn clip. And you're talking about it being funny, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we should make a cake about the Twin Towers being blown." Yo, that's the like you want to talk about touchy, bro? You want to talk about terrorist touch? That's touchy. I don't even know what this chick did, but I don't even care. It's fine. Twitch is finally cleaning house. Oh yeah, I don't even know what the hell that person did. I want to know what this chick did too. Cleaning house. Asmon's really? What? That? Okay. I mean, I don't really know how. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Do I even want? Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're here.
Yeah. Who is this? I mean, it says video, but it doesn't say react content.
So once again, Twitch is under fire for some recent developments. I think everyone is aware of the inconsistency and hypocrisy that takes place when it comes to how Twitch enforces its terms of service. We've seen the classic examples like with VTubers. You know, a VTuber might show a part of their hip and receive a month-long ban. Meanwhile, your typical cam girl can run a softcore cam show on this 13 plus platform and not only get away with it, but also get actively promoted by Twitch staff. Now, there's another set of hypocrisy when it comes to TOS that we're going to talk about today. One that is a lot more serious than even that. So basically, we're having a conversation where there are some comments about political and sensitive events that are getting some people in trouble, but others not in trouble. And we have to have a real conversation asking why Twitch is allowing some people to promote terrorist propaganda and to also interview terrorists and praise them. Also allowing some people to make fun of and wish harm upon U.S. military veterans. That is the state of Twitch at the moment. But all of this began because of the Asmongold ban. This really rose out of this. I think most of you guys are aware of what happened here, but really quick, in his final stream, or his most recent one, He said, referring to the people of Palestine and Israel, that he doesn't care what happens to them because they're terrible people and they come from an inferior culture. And people got angry about this, and he tried to quell the outrage with this apology.
So that's what he said. Okay, I can see people getting mad at that. I can see a select group of people getting mad at that. Very select, you know? Those specific people he's talking about. Everyone else who's getting, you know, in their feelings a little butthurt, and he wasn't talking about you. I mean, you can have your opinions about what he said. Cool. He already said apology and everything. But, like, I'm not even going to get into it. But this has caused extra shit to happen. Way to cause the domino effect, Mr. Asman. Mr. Zachariah. You caused a domino effect. And you know what? If you had to take this 2-week ban so that they would use you as a small example to set the ball rolling of getting these disgusting, degenerate, filthy human beings off of Twitch and making it more toxic and disgusting for people to watch, such as, I don't know, that shit, that little fucking minute clip of the chick talking about baking a cake that looked like the Twin Towers and shit, like what in the hell? And dressed the way that she was, has she lost her fucking mind? Like, disgusted, immediately disgusted the moment I heard that. I had to question it. But if Asman taking that little hit, taking that 2-week hit, and he gets some R&R out of it, he gets some mental health out of it, meanwhile Twitch cleans up the garbage that's on it, my hat. Thank you for taking this. Thank you for taking the L. Thank you for taking the L, Asman. If that's, they want to use you as the, oh yeah, well it started with Asman, you can't really say anything, we just knocked off someone who's big, and we're just going to da 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 da. No, you people actually clearly have reasons to get knocked out. But like, I say, Asman saying that, what he said, off of this clip, is 10 times less as bad as what. No, I can't say 10 times less. It's just as bad as what they've said. But that shit got under my skin a little bit. Like, that don't normally happen. I have a pretty thick skin when it comes to some shit, but that was pretty vulgar. That was pretty vulgar. I personally wouldn't watch their shit ever. They don't deserve. They shouldn't have followers and anything like that coming out of the US, and they want to make jokes about the fucking Twin Towers getting. No, I'm sorry. Sorry, I can't.
But that didn't really make anything better. In fact, he was banned for 2 weeks on Twitch shortly after this post.
Let me go back a second. Right there.
In his final stream, or his most recent one, he said, referring to the people of Palestine and Israel, that he doesn't care what happens to them because they're terrible people and they come from an inferior culture. And people got angry about this, and initially he tried to quell the outrage with this apology, just saying, my bad, but that didn't really make anything better. In fact, he was banned for 2 weeks on Twitch shortly after this post, where the following day he would make this video titled My Plans Moving Forward, where he would apologize, accept the ban, and basically say he wants to do many different things to improve himself, including cleaning his house. Now, the reaction to this has been very mixed. It kind of depends on who you are. You know, the people who already disliked him, the overwhelming majority of them are not going to change their opinion of him based on this. And some people who are fans of Asmongold like this, some don't like the fact that he apologized. It's really up to you, but that's not why we're really talking about this.
At the end of the fucking day, it's just an apology. They're just words. It doesn't mean anything. Why would people get upset about it regardless, unless they're themselves emotionally immature and don't understand the concept of an apology and how little the words mean as less so the actions. And as we've already seen just from Homeboy's, not getting mad or upset or anything, but as we've already seen from Homeboy's, you know, his post of his house, he's already trying and starting to move along those things and follow suit with the things that he said. So far that I've noticed, he is a man of his word. Like, come on, let's not act like, to some degree, the man doesn't have some resemblance of fucking integrity. Like, come on. Who cares about whether or not you're happy or not that he apologized? He chose to do it. It was his choice. He didn't even have to. All he had to do was make changes. And guess what? He still did it. Drag this man through the mud because he apologized. I hate that shame system crap. I hate the shame system crap. It's asinine.
This is more of a backdrop for what we're going to continue on in this video. And a lot of people have been looking at what happened with Asmongold and how he got banned, and they're asking why aren't other people getting banned for similar comments about political and sensitive issues. And there's a lot of names that come to mind, but I think it's important to get a backdrop here, an additional backdrop. So right now Twitch is getting a lot of flack for the fact that it appears that for a long time, people in Israel and Palestine were not able to create new Twitch accounts. And this was following the October 7th, 2023 attacks, where they temporarily disable things. However, they would try to embellish this and would get caught by a community note where basically they're correcting the record and saying that both email registration and phone registration were blocked for several months after this. In fact, Dan Clancy, the CEO, would come out, he would take a break from watching his favorite cam streamers, and he would say, very sorry about this mistake.
Bro, this man is gonna get fucking filleted for making that video too. One of the CEO guys, this is the guy that was a fucking creep and has nothing but cam girls all over his goddamn phone. Pervert, creepy weirdo.
The following tweet.
Also, don't care if you're the CEO of this. I'd make a new account if I needed to. I don't give a shit. But he's goddamn creep. That's some creepy shit. Creep.
Tweet explains what happened. We only discovered this problem
Grown-ass man.
today and quickly worked to fix it. This tweet explains what happens. And he would get hit with notes himself. A double feature of community notes here, where people would bring up many different points, including the fact that this issue's been raised for months and months, and Twitch has not done anything to remedy, which is essentially a geo-block on that region.
Yeah, they only want to.
People started saying
they only want to start knocking people off the fucking or hitting people with the chopping block after they've hit Asmongold for the thing that he said. He's like, oh, well, if Asmon said it, and he's one of our biggest top streamers and stuff like that, we have to start hitting these smaller people too for stuff that they're saying and stuff that they're doing. Otherwise, it'll come back bad on us. Like, they clearly just stated it's been going on for a while. They're just now getting around to it. Like, come on.
Why aren't you enforcing policies against certain people on your platform? Because if I'm going to be very generous to Dan Clancy, you can make the argument that maybe he wanted to keep that region locked from creating new accounts to ensure that extremists won't use their platform to say negative things and get Twitch in trouble. However, that argument kind of falls apart when you realize that the platform already allows that stuff to happen.
Extremist views sure did.
Are being promoted and encouraged by some of their most recognizable streamers. And the
sure
first
has.
one that comes to a lot of people's minds is, of course, Hassan Piker, who recently, with Nick on stream, played a literal terrorist propaganda video. I am not trying...
What the fuck? What the fuck? See, I don't really watch Twitch streamers that often. When I do, I typically will watch Asmongold. That should tell you something. I see this guy pop up a few times, and he always has some controversial bullshit to always say. Don't know shit about the guy. At all. All I ever hear is him popping up talking shit about somebody all the time. And... bro. Or saying something on a topic with, I don't know, either the bare minimum of context or anything like that. But that's ridiculous. Why the fuck would you, bro? Why would you show that on a stream? At all? Why would you be sharing this type of content on a stream? You genuinely got to make it make sense to me. Why the hell? Anyone who's alive, anyone who's a live streamer on Twitch, why in the world you would stream terrorist propaganda?
Trying to exaggerate or anything like that. It is literally a terrorist propaganda video. And you can see in the clip, Nick is very uncomfortable and realizes how insane this is, that this is happening live on Twitch in front of tens of thousands of people, while Hasan Piker tries to basically blow this all off as a whimsical video. It's a fun set of dances, when in reality, like I said, it is objectively a terrorist propaganda film being featured on his stream on Twitch.
That's
and on
crazy.
top of that, he has recently platformed a known terrorist, someone who is, again, objectively a terrorist, and this is someone he has interviewed, he has spoke very highly of, and in that final stream before Asmongold was banned, he actually was in a call with Asmongold where he referred to this individual, this known terrorist, as basically a modern-day Anne Frank, a victim of the Holocaust. Yeah, I don't remember in any of her writings where she was expressing her desire to blow up ships or to attack or disparage people based on their race or their ethnicity. But anyways,
that's crazy.
This happened to Hasan Piker, and that's not too surprising despite everything
that's crazy
that's been going on recently. But there have been some people getting banned. So right here we have 4 individuals who were either a part of or adjacent to Hasan Piker's community. These 4 streamers were banned yesterday. You have Capri Sun Poppy, Frogan, Denims, and Vio. So we're going to talk about 2 of these individuals for the sake of this video. Really quick, let's talk about Denims, because when I saw her name come up, I was wondering why she sounded so familiar, but it's actually pretty simple. I've talked about her before back in April.
Yeah, I was going to say I have no idea who this person is at all. Not on my radar whatsoever. I thought that they were someone else from their profile photo. Completely wrong. Going off of the photo that I'm looking at now, or the picture of what she's on the screen now, I have no idea who this chick is. Still in my brain, she's kind of like super irrelevant to me, but like she just got banned for doing something ridiculous. So let's find out.
Rev jump scare. So if you don't understand what's happening on the screen, basically right now I'm reacting to Denims, reacting to Asmongold, reacting to me covering a tweet about Mark Kern. Capiche? Simple, right? But anyways, in all seriousness, what happened is, Capiche?
We're talking
back in April. So here's a little Rev jump scare. So if you don't understand what's happening on the screen, basically right now I'm reacting to Denims, reacting to Asmongold, reacting to me covering a tweet about Mark Kern.
That's ridiculous.
Capiche? Simple, right? But anyways, like in all seriousness, what happened is, back in April of this year, an individual on Twitter put a $20,000 bounty on the head of Mark Kern over his comments about video games. And of course, my video covering that situation said, wow, that's unhinged. And then Asmongold reacted to that video and he said, wow, that's unhinged. And then Denims reacted to the reaction video from Asmongold, and this is what she had to say.
Listen, I'll up the number, okay? 30K to anyone who'll make this dipshit disappear.
So there was some debate on who she was referring to with that comment, whether it was Asmongold and/or Mark Kern. But either way, very unhinged, upping a bounty, trying to put a bounty on someone's head over video game opinions or someone criticizing this bounty that was placed on Mark.
Very unhinged.
And to make this clear, to clarify, she was not banned or punished or warned or done had any sort of punishment as a result of these comments. Her ban currently comes from something else we will cover later in this video.
Probably doing something fucking sexual. Probably showed a nipple.
Is Frogan. She's been under a lot of heat over the past couple of days. A lot of people have been asking Twitch to ban her for largely this clip right here. This is quite possibly one of the most unhinged rants I have seen on Twitch. So let's listen to this.
If this is the clip that it says it's a minute long, and I'm pretty sure the one that I watched was a minute long. If this is the same shit about her fucking making it, yes.
Absolute slop.
I have no pity at all for any fucking soldiers.
Bro.
Distress, thank you so much. I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers. U.S. military? Who fucking who? I hope you get PTSD.
Bruh.
So yeah, that's really bad. That's already off.
It's extremely bad. My brother was in the military. I have multiple family members that have been in the military. But the one that sings closest to me when it comes to that, what she just fucking said, was my brother came back from the from the army. He was a sergeant and he had PTSD. His PTSD was caused by him and his crew, his group, his fucking platoon getting blown up in a fucking truck, yo. They lived it. He lived it. Massive PTSD from that. He had that for years. I wouldn't wish PTSD on anybody. This person is disgusting and they deserve to get their fucking ban. They don't need to get an account back. Their face should not pop up on fucking Twitch ever again. Good lord, that is not just a horrible take, but that is her opinion, her honest opinion about. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think. Okay, so military forces attacking each other. Personally, I don't think people should attack each other, regardless. But I sure as shit don't fucking. I sure as shit have pity and worry and concern for all of the soldiers that have to deal with anything. Let alone their PTS fucking D. Like, they didn't ask for that. Nobody goes into the military asking to be handed by the end of their fucking campaign that they're signed up for to have PTS motherfucking D. I used to have PTSD when it came to car crashes because I was in 2 back-to-back crazy bad car crashes where head-on collision and the car flipped. So I know and that's just from a vehicle flipping and just hot, and like anytime I would be in it, they would have PTSD episodes anywhere, anytime. Sudden sounds, shock, movement, like deplorable. The words out this person's mouth is just disgusting.
To a terrible start, and just the audacity of this woman to sit in her comfortable home in California while she shoves food in her face, doing Twitch streaming for a living, wishing that U.S. military veterans have PTSD
and that's exactly what the fuck it is. It's fucking harm.
Literally exists like this. It's absolutely insane, but it just...
Word, you live exactly the way that you do because of the people that are going out and protecting you, fighting for you, and all that shit. You may not see it and feel like you see it and experience it on a day-to-day, but by God, you are experiencing it right now, as it looks like you're shoving a glizzy down your damn throat. Like, bro, people like that, like, how are there people like this on the planet? How are there people like this that don't give a fuck about nobody and it just thinks it's okay to say the most disgusting, deplorable things about anybody and everybody? Like, it's okay. Like, that negative, horrible take is like the best thing and the right thing. It's terrible. It is terrible. You really need to reevaluate your fucking self.
It just gets worse and worse.
Ugh. Fucking terrible.
Oh, I also want to pause here for 1 second. By the way, she's drinking a Pure Leaf bottle right here, which is a product of PepsiCo, which, according to most of those online boycotts that claim certain companies are funding the genocide in Palestine, PepsiCo is one of those companies that's listed on many of those boycott lists. So she is literally violating the boycott that she would probably attack others for violating in similar fashion.
Bro hit her with the Carfax in the... Bro hit her with the Carfax in the middle of the sip. You know, when you this isn't everybody, okay? But I'm sure that majority, if not all, a large majority of the people who would watch this could agree with me when it comes to there are just some people that you come across in your lifetime, whether you meet them in person, whether you just watch something about them, hear something about them, that you immediately form that snap opinion of them, and it is just so disgusting that you barely want to look at that, like you're barely able to look at their face. I can barely look at this female's face after just after not only listening to that first oh my god. After not only listening to that first take in the clip that I watched earlier, but also after just watching a few seconds of that 1 minute and 16-second freaking clip. Disgusting. She makes me want to vomit.
Dude, the ones I do, the ones I'm like whatever about the U.S. soldiers are the ones that like acknowledge that like what they did was wrong. They didn't know back then. Whatever. You're a good person in my book. I'm like a Tom. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted.
There's something just extra ghoulish about the fact that she's saying like, oh, these veterans deserve PTSD. Oh, and thank you for the 10 gifted subs.
Wow.
It's so weird to me. Like, how can you say that awful stuff in one breath and the next one be thanking people for gifting subs? Like, this is it feels like dystopian. Like there's something terribly wrong here. It feels almost like a parody.
It's gross.
The U.S. military that are like, yeah, like, you know, I did this back then, but now I know it's wrong. Like, I'm changed. Like, fuck imperialism. Fuck this. You don't deserve the PTSD.
Amazing. So basically, if you subscribe to her unhinged worldview, you don't deserve to have PTSD. Isn't that so?
Glad I never was.
But yeah, obviously, this got a lot of people very upset. And on top of that, to make this clear, what she's doing is a very clear violation of Twitch's TOS.
Do you not realize how many people have military family living in the United States that you are sitting there and talking all that shit on a platform that is also run on the United States or in the United States? Like, all right, let's get through this without getting more agitated than I already am. I didn't think a clip, a take, another human being just streaming could get under my skin like this thing has.
As for hateful conduct, it is specifically listed in their rules that you cannot attack someone for their veteran status. That is not something surprising. That is basically cooked into every single TOS out there. You cannot attack someone based on their veteran status.
Duh.
It's nothing new. And yet, it takes Twitch a million years to reach a decision which, spoiler alert, will have nothing to do with this clip. But anyways, a lot of people started looking around with this Frogan individual, and it becomes very clear that someone who has so much to say about Israel and Palestine and the Middle East generally really has no idea what she's talking about. So this is a very quick clip we're going to play here.
Civilians without distinctions, Jews, Christians, Muslims, and Druze.
Okay, so they said...
So you might not have heard her in the background. She goes, what the F is a Druze? Which I think a lot of people in her sort of interest in her field would all know what that is. It's a religious and ethnic group in the Middle East, and she doesn't even know what that is, except, or despite the fact that she tries to claim to be an expert on the region, and she doesn't even know basic things like that. Just goes to show that these people are just wanton and reckless in their coverage of this sort of very serious set of issues. Like, why are we trusting this individual to have an opinion on anything? You know, especially given her hateful conduct. But there's also some other very weird clips coming out here. So let's listen to this one.
Can I tell you a story, but can you bleep it?
Yeah, but can we watch this, then you tell me the story? Or you want me to
It's true. It's relevant, I swear.
Okay, tell me.
My cousin gave us his old Xbox, and his username was Hezbollah something. And then we were like, bro, this motherfucker's about to get us put on a list.
That's really funny.
Why bleep that?
Yeah, why bleep that? Was he an American or is he from there?
He's American. He died.
Okay.
Recently.
Yeah.
then we're good.
In what, the war or just generally?
Remember how actually my cousin died last year?
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
Oh, do you still want to bleep it?
we don't have to. I don't know. I don't want to be put on a list.
Yeah, I
What?
would guarantee she's on a list somewhere. So if
No.
you're not catching what she's saying,
Fuck,
she's
chick.
essentially heavily implying that her cousin went and fought for Hezbollah, a terrorist organization, and died overseas doing whatever your imagination might think. So
Bro.
it's a very disturbing thing to see a Twitch
Why is
partner,
she on
someone who's
Twitch?
a 3-time rising star on the platform, by the way.
Why was she on Twitch? How did she get to the position that she was on Twitch with? Like, these are the car facts that I really want to fucking know. How did she end up in the position that she was? How did Twitch not stop this chick from even getting a Twitch partner to begin with? Why would they even offer it to her if this is how she spoke and behaved? And then once she started to, and if she didn't to begin with, when she did start to speak on this, if you were a Twitch partner and you were locked in with Twitch, why the fuck isn't Twitch on top of the people who are supposed to be partners? You're just going free willy-nilly, just do whatever. Like, what? Why would they allow that for that long?
Basically, in a smug fashion, brag about the fact that her family member fought for a terrorist organization. Very weird stuff, but she had more to say about this specific situation involving her cousin here, and also the fact that she has had the most pro-Hamas tweet of all time.
We don't have to. I don't know. I don't want to be put on a list.
Well, it's
Okay.
not your Xbox.
Yeah, it's on my Xbox. But yeah, we just wanted to play Mortal Kombat.
Bro, sweetie, you're already on the list. Okay.
Believe me.
Do you think I am?
Yes.
Yeah.
You had the most viral fucking pro Hamas tweet of all time.
Bro.
Isn't this a weird time we live in, where people are getting like pats on the back
Most
for
viral,
having the
bro. Wow.
most viral pro-Hamas tweet of all time, the most pro-terrorist organization tweet of all time? Isn't that wild? Isn't it a wild time we live in, where people like this are being celebrated? But anyways, she
I wouldn't
would
say
double down
fucking
on
wild.
everything.
I wouldn't say fucking wild. I'd say fucking disgusting. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I remember a time when we would have terrorists and stuff like that, or people celebrating or talking up terrorists, and literally those people just got what was coming to them too. I remember when, what the fuck, Saddam, when they were doing, when the shit with Saddam Hussein happened and they killed him, and hell, they threw his body in the sea so he couldn't be a martyr. Like, bro, this shit's crazy. The fact that this chick even ended up where she is in her life on any type of talk shows or anything like that, that's crazy. I mean, and not for nothing, because, you know, there's a lot of, she looks like a white girl. I'm not gonna, she looks like she's a white girl, which is weird. I mean, she could be whatever, like, she could be whatever the ethnicity is that she's talking about representing and stuff like, but I'm just saying, just off of this, because I've personally seen white girls wear stuff like that to try to be all in there in a little group with a specific group of people. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. And if it's a whole farce, it's a whole facade, and she acts like this off of a fucking facade, that's even worse.
Despite the very justifiable outrage of people on social media about her comments, specifically about the military veterans deserving to have PTSD. This was her reaction
I
to
can't
her
even
own clip.
believe
would watch
she
her
said
own
that
clip,
shit.
And this was her reaction to her comments.
What? Bitch is chuckling. This bitch is chuckling.
And they posted it in my head. I'm like, base?
Whoa. No way. This bitch is a degenerate.
Base?
I won't subject you to any more of that, but basically,
What?
in response to the outrage, she reviews her own statement saying these veterans deserve PTSD, and she said, that's based. Yes, this is one of the people who are the face of Twitch,
Bro.
by the way.
Bro.
But anyways, she would
It's
continue
so
on
bad.
to make many different comments that are highly contested about their accuracy, by the way. But it became very clear because she shut off the comments and was getting a lot of quotes attacking her, basically saying she also can't dish out what she is, or can't take what she's dishing out. We would get some news. She and those
Hold
other
on.
streamers from earlier would
Go
be
back.
banned.
Go back.
Can't di-
Anger is directed at those who are currently sports crimes. People. Yeah, these people better be your people, what you looking extra Caucasian-y. Just saying. But even still, even if you're not, and they are your people, bro, the fact that you're using a Twitch platform to say that you were using the Twitch platform to say these horrible, vulgar things about the U.S. military, when, oh my God, I have so much military in my family. This person truly disgusts me.
Dish out what she is, or can't take what she's dishing out. We would get some news. She and those other streamers from earlier would be banned for 30 days for hateful conduct. And this is a very interesting situation because in Frogan's case in particular, she was not banned for the comments about military veterans. Apparently that's okay on Twitch, according to them, unless, of course, if you're the right person.
Wow.
But it was this panel, the TwitchCon Rating Streamers panel. So this is a very convoluted situation, but to sum it up very briefly, they were making an active tier list ranking streamers.
Bro, I don't understand how this shit was even remotely acceptable on Twitch's platform at all. I hope that this chick got a permanent, like a permaban, instead of a temporary 30-day freaking ban. And the fact that Twitch is okay with people doing this shit to begin with, it honestly says more bad shit in my mind about Twitch itself as a company, as a streaming platform, and it doesn't make me want to be on the platform if like with people who are disgusting like this. But I will not let some deplorable, disgusting human being affect my goals and the things that I want to do. But sure as hell, Twitch needs to fix some very, very distinctive fucked up shit like this. No one should be able to hop on to a live streaming platform and stream to thousands of people at a given single moment, hate bullshit against the country, the people, and all of that they live in, that protects them, that takes care of them, that got them the shit that they fucking live off of now. Period. The fucking audacity. The absolute audacity that a human being has to say some of this shit about the people who have been through some of the worst, if not the worst, things imaginable. I can't. It's terrible.
Okay? And if you don't know how tier lists work, the top is typically the S tier, meaning this is good, this is the best.
S, A,
and the
B,
bottom
C,
tier,
D.
the F tier, means bad. Whatever it is on there, that's bad. it's low quality, whatever. First of all, this list is really weird, right? The top is Arab. Then it goes down to Arab coded. And the bottom says loves Sabra. So if you don't know what that is, that's first of all a product that comes from Israel. It's on the boycott list. But
what does this say? Correction, Sabra is US based.
But if you translate it,
there's a list for Sabra is covered by the same company that is currently supporting. Okay.
It means someone born in Israel. And it just so happens that during this tier list, who was all on the bottom? It was all Jewish streamers like H3H3 and Ben Shapiro. You know, people who are in the relevant spaces, they were all put down in that F tier. Just so happens they're all Jewish. And yeah, that's an insane thing to do, right? We're doing a race tier list over here on a sponsored Twitch channel. And also look in the background.
Whoa,
sponsored by
no way.
Capcom, Samsung.
No way. No way. Are you saying they did a I didn't hear that at first. I did not hear that at first. Him say that it's a race tier list. What the fuck? And this is on Twitch? What the fuck?
Chevron, which is funny too because Chevron's also on the majority of those boycott lists, by the way. So these people trying to support these boycotts are sitting here in an event sponsored by one of the boycott listed companies.
Fucking morons.
Which is just one of the many hypocritical things, but I think you guys get it at this point. And in response to her ban, Frogan would say this: yapping is for the girlies, not weird old men. And then she would lock her replies. The bravest soldier out there. But, of course, she's not so brave. She has been going around removing all of her content on various social media platforms and also pausing invites to her Discord server. I would assume trying to cover her tracks because she's afraid
she's trying to clean up her shit. She's trying to clean up her shit. You know why? Because she's not going to be getting any more fucking checks coming in the mail from Twitch, the platform that she decided to run the United States fucking military through her mouth and through the fucking mud. Why would this chick think that, bro? You think that doing a little cleanup of your shit, if it's for 30 days, if it's only for 30 days, that's ridiculous. If she gets banned, if she's only banned for 30 days, and all she does is go throughout her social media, cleans up a little bit of the hate speech bullshit that she ends up putting on there, and then Twitch is like, okay, slap on the wrist. Are you shitting me? Does Twitch not actually understand the psychological factors that do come in with streamers, like the parasocial shit? That's real. That same scenario situation still happens with these weirdo fanatics who want to fucking stream stupid shit like that. Talk about and talk bad about our US military and how they deserve to have PTSD. Like, what? You don't think that this, talking like this, and anyone having access, anyone has access to your fucking app. Anyone with a cell phone, smart device, computer, whatever, they have access to Twitch. A kid could get on it. A teenager could get on it. Anyone in anyone. This could. Who wants to listen to this type of shit? What person who lives in the United States wants to listen to someone else talk shit about our military who has protected us all this time?
She might get more significant punishment than she's already received.
I hope so.
But overall, this is a terrible, terrible look for Twitch, who cannot put their foot down for anything. They can put their foot down for a VTuber showing too much of their hip, but they can't put their foot down for someone spreading and encouraging and glorifying terrorist propaganda.
Which
people wishing harm upon U.S. military veterans and all of these related things that are just disgusting. Like, can we take a moment to realize how disgusting this behavior is and how normalized it is on Twitch?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We can take a moment to realize that. Will Twitch ever fucking do anything? No, because they're getting their pockets lined by people sitting there and broadcasting their shit. But at the end of the fucking day, you have to realize when the dollar amount does not equate to the fucking bullshit that is brought into the world because of said dollar. AKA this chick doing shit like this on your platform and you guys allowing it. Don't slap this chick with no fucking 2 weeks, no fucking month, no fucking 2 months. Just ban her ass. Just ban her. Period. You know what banning means? It's not a temporary ban. Normally, you know, back in my day, back when I heard banning, that means you were unable to get back on or deal with whatever the fuck it is you're being banned from indefinitely. That means till you are permanently in the ground. Lifetime bans. Lifetime bans. For people like this, I understand if it's not going to be a ban, like a permanent ban, then call it a fucking suspension. Stop calling everything a ban. Ban this, ban that. She needs to be permabanned. If it's permabanned, beautiful. But as it sounds, as it seems, Twitch, you are sucking the D. For real. Fix your shit. Get these freaking sicko degenerates off of your platform so that people can have, I don't know, some better quality content. That ain't quality.
It's really horrible to look at, and this is Twitch's problem. They are facing a big PR crisis right now, and they deserve it. They absolutely deserve it.
1,000,000%.
But for now, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
I mean, very great video. Points out plenty of factors of why this person should not be on Twitch. I hope that Twitch themselves actually looks into this video, looks into multiple other videos that people will for surely be making about this human being, and it helps them come to a more permanent decision of keeping someone like this off of their platform. Make her go to fucking Kick. She wants to end up talking about all this shit. Let someone else deal with it. Let someone else do it. Don't ruin your own platform for people like this. It's like one or two. There's so many people in the world. Why ruin the quality of your platform for 1, 2, 4 garbage human beings? I don't know what the other ones did, but from this one, if they're anywhere near as bad. I watched one of his videos already. Not Hassan's. I don't fucking... like, so far, from what I could tell, even from when I was watching a video before, I don't really like this guy. Like, I don't know if it's his personality, his vibe, or whatever. Like, I don't really like this dude. I just don't. I guess he's about to talk about, you know, another negative topic. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, oh, there's so much negative. There is so much negativity. So much negativity when it comes to like the just chatting and stuff like that. Let me just listen to like the first 5 seconds of this. And if it sounds like it's just deplorable, but I feel like he just covers things that he's mad about most of the time or agitated about. But this dude, Chuckling Andy over here.
Hello, guys.
Yeah, I just watched something on how bad Twitch's platform is. Oh, come on.
Guys and gals, me Mutahar, and today's video is going to be a bit of a heavy subject matter. So before we jump in completely, obviously with the title, you obviously know something is pretty wild at Twitch. Now, this is in regards to serious world-shattering events that, again, I'm not an expert in, so I'm going to kind of tread lightly in the situation, explain and discuss things that I reasonably can. But if you want to dive away from heavy stuff and you want to stick to something a little bit more, lighthearted, then,
I need to message this man personally and tell him to remember to disable his camera's autofocus. You're not moving nowhere, homie. I'm not mad at you, bro. I'm just saying, your autofocus going in and out drives me insane. Absolutely up the frickin' walls when it comes to your videos. And it just goes in and out. In and out like crazy.
I'm probably going to be releasing another deep web video, so get excited for that one. We're looking at a lot of wild websites. And if you want to, look at things like LSD Dream Emulator, maybe some more creepypasta stuff, because I'm going back to that. This week is probably going to be a fun week for some of you guys watching Some Ordinary Gamers. A lot of callback to older content that I did and I want to be doing going forward. But this is one of those videos where I've seen it mentioned on the actual Reddit. So if you know that we have the Some Ordinary Gamer subreddit, and one of the top posts was, stuff about Asmongold the last couple days.
Obviously.
So, these were pretty highly viewed posts on my subreddit, and they were ones where it kind of dominated the entire community for a little bit. So obviously, it's one of those things where I kind of want to jump into it because the rabbit hole that I've went down has shown me just how wild and insane Twitch, if not the entire internet, is effectively becoming. So to give you an idea, Asmongold, a couple days ago, made some rather inflammatory statements that got his account banned for 14 days. Now, the statements in particular I'm going to play, and obviously I just want to preface, Zach Asmongold has pretty much walked these things back and, has apologized for it. But to show you exactly what triggered an entire giant domino effect on Twitch, we're going to play this clip right here and kind of touch upon it briefly.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a They're terrible people. It's not even a question.
Now that I'm officially listening to the entire take, I'm sorry, but I feel like that was almost a little bit taken out of context, for real. I mean, he's more or less stating, I don't want to touch on it too much because of obvious reasons, but like, it sounds like he's more or less stating that it's baked into their laws. So if it's in their laws and in his head at the time, it was more, I don't know. It shouldn't even be in the fucking laws. Put it that way. It's crazy. That's crazy that Jen is inside of their laws. Like it's an okay thing. What? I would need to see that. Like that's crazy.
So to cut the whole clip off over here real quick, obviously this kind of inflamed individuals because Zach was referring to Muslims, specifically from what I understand, Palestinians at the time, when asked to talk about a conflict like this. Now, obviously, Zach was one of those people that said, weird as fuck to see many people coming out with statements about this conflict as if they need to comment on it. Can we stop this weird culture around expecting people with no relevant backgrounds or educations to talk about world events / politics? And I actually agree 100% on that. It's one of the reasons why I don't really go into these topics, because I'm a fat Indian guy whose background is computer science and cybersecurity. That's all I know, okay? That's where I come down to. It's either that or playing video games. I'm not a global expert on anything, which is why I really don't talk about these situations.
For real.
So obviously Asmongold walked it back, apologized, and said, my bad. Of course, no one deserves to have their life destroyed, even if they do things, or have views I find regressive. So in this situation, one could, if they were
regressive. Okay, so I understand what he means by that. Views that he finds regressive. AKA the genocide being baked into a law. That's pretty regressive. That shouldn't even be in a law. Like that's going backwards tenfold. That like at this point in age, that surely should I feel like that shouldn't be in anyone's freaking thing. That's nuts. That's nuts for it to be baked into a law. A law.
or to extend the charitability, could say that Asmongold was probably referring to extremists in the Islamic religion.
Yes.
And their view on people in the LGBTQ camp, all right? As you all know, religious fundamentalists, whether you're in Islam or any religion, probably don't take too kindly to people that are gay, and that's probably what Asmongold was going for. Now, obviously, his idea of conflating this was probably not the smartest way to handle the situation, and that's pretty much how the situation ended up going. Now, he earned himself a 14-day ban, and what this did was basically show people that, hey, listen, this is wild stuff being said. This is some insane shit going on Twitch. But down the road on Twitch, there were plenty of other commentators known as Hassan Piker, and a few people in the politics sphere that basically showed that there is kind of a double standard in how Twitch enforces its actual, TOS.
Yeah.
So a couple, days ago, if not a day ago, it turned out that Twitch was apparently banning accounts from Israel from actually signing up. When making an account from Israel on Twitch, it apparently ended up being where Twitch provided one error into its site code where it said, oops, we encountered an unexpected error. 2023 was the error code, and the code was blocked country IP. So this apparently ended up being addressed by Twitch.
Oh, wow.
This was brought forward by Destiny and his co-host on his podcast, where they basically said, we wanted to address concerns we've seen about whether we're preventing Twitch account signups in some regions. When signing up for a Twitch account, you can select an account verification method, email or phone, for added protection. Following the October 7, 2023 attacks, we temporarily disabled signups with email verification in Israel and Palestine. Now, obviously, wild stuff indeed.
Very specific locations. And convenient as fuck that it would be those two. Wow.
But why did they do it? We did this to prevent uploads of graphic material related to the attack and to protect the safety of users. It's interesting how the site specifically picked this geolocated region in specific, especially when this wasn't enacted during Ukraine and Russia, or really any country that is still currently actively at war right now as we speak, okay?
Yeah.
But anyways, to go further in, signups were not disabled, and we continue to see signups from both regions. Users could choose to sign up with phone verification. We've learned that inadvertently, we did not re-enable email verification signups for either region. Now, they've been community noted where they said even signups were impossible when using a phone number. So we deeply regret this unacceptable miss and the confusion it has caused. We fixed this issue, meaning all affected users can sign up with email verification. We've also heard concerns about whether our community guidelines apply to all content on our service, and we continue to enforce our rules as consistently as possible and are actively reviewing content and taking enforcement action whenever needed. Now, this last paragraph might be the biggest fucking sack of shit I have ever read from a company like this in my entire time on the internet. But to give you an idea, this was not like a VPN block or something of that nature. This was actual written into code, a geo-block of an entire region.
Yeah,
so why
very
would
obvious.
Decide to ban Israel of all countries, especially after all of this has happened, from producing accounts and signing up to their service? It just doesn't make any sense. Well, since then, a fair amount of clips have come out that have addressed some individuals on Twitch promoting some rather wild thoughts. So we're going to go down the clip rampage and just go through some of the wildest shit people have been digging out from Twitch.
Oh, yeah.
Now, CEO Dan Clancy comes out and says, we just posted an explanation of what happened. The weird...
I also saw what your phone looked like, so just going to point that out.
Very sorry about the oversight. It only came to our attention today. As mentioned in the tweet, it did not affect people using mobile phone verification. Now, what's really interesting about this whole situation is when somebody like Dan Clancy says, oh, wow, we just found it out now. There was actually a small movement known as Baluat Twitch from actual Israeli content creators where they actually brought the situation up. They dug into the inspect element, they dug into the console for their web browser, and right over here it said it gave the same thing, error 2023, blocked country IP. So when people started
Dang.
to email them around, right, Twitch support was like, hey, I'm really sorry that you're having issues creating an account. We reviewed your case thoroughly and confirmed, unfortunately, you are not eligible to create a Twitch account. So nowhere did they say use a cell phone number, not an email. That wasn't brought up. And then, of course, the further you dig out into it, one of the receipts that I saw posted was one from the Twitch user voice, where apparently a certain idea was deleted. That idea in particular was in response to you can't create an account in the region of Israel or Palestine. So, again, it's a geo-block, it seems, of the area, allegedly. I agree. We're also
Damn.
people. You cannot make us not watch our favorite streamers just because we are from Israel, Palestine. So, insane shit to be fucking seeing. You know, at one point, you get this piece of shit CEO that
crazy.
comes out and tells you, yeah, we only found out about it. I mean, again, it's just a blatant lie. So why the fuck would you need to lie? If anything, that just makes me more like, it just aggravates anybody watching this because you
Yeah,
feel talked
it makes
down
and
to,
also makes
you
them want to
feel
dig more,
mocked
find out
at
the
end of day,
bullshit.
and it's such a condescending way to communicate to people that can easily counter you in about 5 minutes. Honestly, if you really think about it, this rule actually hurt Gazans more than it ever would have hurt Israelis because as geo-block, if it targeted that region, you know, if you wanted to allow people to document and live stream the real atrocities that are occurring to them in that region, you know, Palestinians could have used a platform to showcase themselves. In reality, it shows how borderline, like, it shows how stupid Twitch can be. In them trying to, I guess, protect people, they inadvertently limited people's, like, ability to express and produce content that could actually be eye-opening to a lot of people who don't know about the situation.
Yeah.
Beyond what they read on the internet and through their feeds. But Dan Clancy is somebody that literally allows this site to foster some of the wildest shit you'll ever hear. Now, there's a website known as danclancysucks.com where it goes through a treasure
Damn.
trove.
They made a whole fucking site. They made a whole fucking site about him. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Of some of the most popular streamers on the site. One of the most popular political streamer, Hassan Piker, and of course several of his, like, you know, people in his camp, like Frogan or really any of these other, like, political people, these political slop creators. And again, I highly do mention the word slop. I know that people would say that, Muda, you make slop, Pyrocynical makes slop, Charlie makes slop, lots of people make slop. Now, I would say that in terms of political content creators, the kind of stuff and clips that I've heard are some of the most inflammatory shit that I have seen. And it comes from people that really have no understanding about what they're talking about.
Then they should keep their fucking mouths shut. They should keep their stupid, uninformed, unintelligent opinions to themselves. Honestly. There's enough bullshit. We don't need you adding to the bullshit. If I don't know on a topic, I'm not going to talk deeply about the topic as if I fucking know everything about it. I'm not going to fake it till I make it on some stupid shit. At all. I'll talk about the things that I do know. I'll give my opinions from my own perspective on the things that I do know. But I'm not blatantly going to inflate some bullshit and start lying to everybody. Have some fucking integrity.
But Twitch has allowed a platform where you can just say whatever you want to say with no actual repercussion, provided your politics are on their side. Similar to how Twitter or really any other form of social media kind of handles it. If you condemn Twitter for how they portray certain things on the internet or how, you know, toxic their platform can get, you also have to actually condemn Twitch or really any platform for that matter. So, for instance, according to Twitch and their community guidelines, if you go down to, you know, actual civility and respect, hateful conduct, Twitch aims to be a place where everyone can come together and share community experiences. So what they say is Twitch does not permit behavior that is motivated by hatred, prejudice, or intolerance, including behavior that promotes or encourages discrimination, denigration, harassment, or violence based on the following protected characteristics. So those characteristics are race, ethnicity, color, caste, national origins, immigration status, religion, sex, gender, gender identity, orientation, disability, serious medical condition, and veteran status.
These motherfuckers are... Yo, how can anyone, and I mean anyone on Twitch, get away with. That's a pretty big list of shit that you can't have hate speech towards. How are you still on Twitch? How were you still on Twitch as long as you were? You were getting reports against you. Your streams are literally saved and documented on Twitch. How? How? Like, I can think of like 3 or 4 things, and that's crazy. And just this list that these people have just gone against.
So, because Twitch
that's a long
said,
list.
"Oh, we like to enforce our shit very equally," listen to what one of Twitch's political streamers has to say. This is Frogan coming at you with the dumbest shit that I've heard in a while.
I have no pity at all for any soldiers. Distress, thank you so much. I will never have any pity for any soldiers. U.S. military? Boo fucking who? I hope you get PTSD. I do the ones I'm like whatever about the U.S. soldiers are the ones that like acknowledge that like what they did was wrong. They didn't know back then. Whatever. You're a good person in my book. I'm like a Tom. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted. The U.S. military that are like, yeah, like, you know, I did this back then, but now I know it's wrong. Like, I'm changed. Like, imperialism. This, you don't deserve the PTSD. But like any other motherfucker, you're joining them. You're like, oh my god, I want my Camaro, no student loans. F you. I hope you get PTSD, and I hope you get no health insurance when you get back in America.
Oh, how out of touch do you gotta be?
For
How
real.
privileged do you gotta be to sit there on your ass in California and just badmouth the people that take a bullet for your freedoms every...
What's crazy is everyone knows exactly where the fuck you are from. Everybody knows that you're from Cali. You are from California. Talking all this shit. Bro, I can't. How are you that far gone? I hope that's just this person and not more people in California. That's crazy.
Every single day. The most outrageous shit you'll ever hear. Like, downright, you know, just hateful rhetoric. Now, obviously, you know, the people who are in the military were like, whoa, we're getting that Camaro. I have never in a million years met somebody, and I've met plenty of friends, you know, friends who are actually active military, people that are retired military at this point. They've done their careers. You know, people that have played video games who've told me about their stories. Never once have I ever heard people jump into the Army for that free, juicy Camaro. Ooh. Maybe the student loans, and as somebody that, you know, at the time, financially speaking, I needed money for school, I probably would have joined the Canadian Air Force, you know, out of a patriotic duty, but also because, you know, you sign a bond with them, you work in the military, you get your school paid for, you know, good schooling, and that's kind of how things, you know, go. It's a deal you end up making. I think a lot of people that join the military who are these cogs in the machine that you'd be so willing to say, yeah, I hope you get PTSD if you're not, you know, this reformed person that, you know, has to bend the knee constantly because of your service to your country. Yeah, I think those people are usually in the military out of necessity, or, you know, at some point they need a career. They need to join something.
Can we just peep that Homeboy is actually going pretty hard on this random little old indie game? He's going pretty hard.
And the military is a great provider of it. The military also produces a lot of those same technologies you use to stream your nonsense garbage on the internet. You know, they do a lot more than just this imperialism that she, you know, likes to throw around. You know, there is very valid criticisms you can make of the U.S. military, but I think going after the cogs in the machine, the people that are the grunts, the foot soldiers, is just insane. This kind of rhetoric doesn't really bring anyone together. If anything, all it does is just sow more discord and, you know, sow more issues amongst people who are already facing a lot of issues right now, people who are already so divided. You know, this kind of rhetoric doesn't really, you know, portray anything. She might think this is based, but at the end of the day, it's just literally cowardice behavior that, you know, you're displaying from the internet. You're not really actually providing any solution. You're just sitting over there wishing that people who literally fight for your freedoms every day would get probably the worst post-traumatic stress disorder or mental illnesses because of their service. I mean, honestly, if you were a serviceman and you heard this shit, I would actually understand if you probably regretted your service afterwards, or if you actually question your patriotism. If these are the actual, people that you're fighting for, the people that you're, hoping live their freedoms, right?
Damn.
In
you know what? He's not wrong. You're definitely not wrong in that statement, bro. Going into the military, getting PTSD, doing all that giving your best of the best that you can to make sure that other people are safe, protected, and still have their freedom and security. And then to come back and then to hear crap like this regurgitated from someone who's living comfortably in fucking California. Fuck that.
Become so accustomed to and, literally taken for granted. It's just hateful shit that she's spouting, and realistically it just comes from this very one-sided view of the army, or really your country. It feels like a lot of the extreme leftists on the internet have literally just amounted to their policy being America bad, and realistically never really looking at any of these things from a nuanced perspective. On a side note, I also love how these people talk about getting universal health care for people, which is genuinely a cool thing to see people actually, live and not be indebted to the medical industry of the United States because they happen to get sick or go through something serious. No, your medical rights are only really present as long as you share your political views with us. I mean, how fucking backwards, out of touch bullshit is this when you got to hear it, right? It's like, I hope you get PTSD and I hope America doesn't pay for your medical stuff. I mean, the military people, if you had any basic understanding, they probably have earned, their medical protections because of the service that they've offered. Just insane stuff to see. Now, will Twitch ban this person for, their obvious, obvious hateful conduct on the site? Probably not. They're just walking around completely free. It's insane shit. It's a laissez-faire attitude. Now, obviously, after some backlash, this complete dipshit comes out and goes, I realize that wishing people harm isn't the best way to talk about these issues. Really? Really?
You didn't fucking know. Who would have fucking guessed? Who would have fucking guessed? It wouldn't be smart. Fucking moron. Disgusting moron.
Wow! And these people are supposed to be the fucking intellectual bastions on the internet. Really? You think that being hateful isn't going to attract people? Whoa, hold on a minute. You're telling me that it's easier to attract people with honey than vinegar? Say it ain't so, Chief. That's wild shit. Now, going down further into this specific cretin, one thing that really came out wild was this TwitchCon sponsored event. Now, this is 3 weeks ago, so this is very recent.
Oh my god. This is that freaking interview thing that I want to hear really quick. Let me go to the bathroom. All right. Let's hear about this interview.
Twitch's line. So she posts this clip or video. It's like, how Arab are these Twitch streamers, right? So live at TwitchCon, and if you actually watch the content over here, you'll see that they're pretty much sponsored by Chevron.
Oh yeah, this is it.
Okay, Samsung, Capcom. They got some pretty big sponsors right over here. Insane stuff.
Huge sponsors. Yet what they're choosing to fucking do on this stage, baffling. Huge sponsors. Why would you think that this is okay? Morons. I literally can't think of any other word for these people other than they just stopped using their brain cells.
So if you look at the actual like tier list, you can see that Arab streamers S, Hassan Piker, funny, the Turkish guy is on the Arab list. All right. Then you've got like AB, the actual Arabs. And then of course on the F tier, this is where it gets interesting. You've got Ethan Klein and Ben Shapipo. So at this point, we reach like, all right, S is good. S is good tier. A and B are not as good as S, but it's there. F tier, that tier just gives me the heebie-jeebies. The Jews? Ooh, boy, oh boy. So when you actually watch the clip and you look at the tier list that they're doing, it's insane because like at the top,
he said the Jews?
Arabs, they've got Arab coded. They've got asked perms, things it's a slur, and then the words love Sabra. Now, Sabra apparently in their eyes is like they're referring to like a brand of hummus that exists in Israel that is basically in part of a boycott. Now, Sabra also translates to Israeli Jew or Jew born in Israel. So realistically,
wow.
If we're gonna use the terminology that these people politically like to use, this is what we consider a dog whistle, okay? Because in reality, this is what they're actually going for.
Oh my God!
That I showed you, and again, these are the same people that judged me based.
Bro, if these people end up back on fucking Twitch, oh my fucking God! Just oh my fucking God!
Based on the thumbnail that I used for like the Keffels video. So to give you a quick idea to understand, putting two Jews in the F tier kind of gives you an idea of like where they're at. Arab being at the top, Jew being at the bottom, okay? See, I can look at this and immediately understand that this is most definitely designed to be hateful rhetoric, right? Like, no matter how you want to cut and slice it, if I had done this, or anybody had done this, or people who are opposed politically to these people would do it, they would say that this is hateful conduct. This is literally hateful conduct occurring on the platform.
There's literally no other way to put it, bro.
The accounts responsible for that kind of display of idiocy on the platform? No. Will Twitch do any? No. They basically won't. Now, I want to shift attention to Twitch's biggest political streamer, Hassan Piker. Now, Hassan, in the last, I want to say a couple of weeks, has basically been exposing people to wild shit. Now, if you watch, some of his streams, he's sitting with another actual streamer, and when you watch it, he's literally walking away and, playing literal, terror propaganda, actual terror, music videos to, random creators. Now, if I was to do this on YouTube or really any other platform, or even Twitch, I would actually be expecting a ban. You know, a couple, about a year or two ago, I was actually assisting a couple smaller YouTubers who basically had memes where they had, literal actual, meme channels where they had, actual, I think it was, ISIS music, and YouTube, immediately after detecting it, completely demonetized accounts. In some cases, they would actually remove videos or even ban people.
Well, yeah. Of course, if you posted something like this, streamed something like this, or did anything like this, your immediate reaction would be, I'm going to be getting fucking a ban or a suspension, or I'm going to be getting a slap of some kind by these people for putting this out there. Nothing? You're going to tell me nothing has been done to this dude? To his accounts? Nothing has been said to him? He hasn't been given any warnings? Just nothing? Fuck no. Fuck no. Get this shit off the platform. For real. What are you people doing?
Because YouTube went through a serious apocalypse in regarding this. And obviously, I think most platforms understand that, highlighting illegal criminal organizations, they don't even have to be terrorists. They can be literal criminal gangs. If you're out there promoting the Hells Angels or you're promoting the Mexican drug cartels, you would probably get a serious ban. But in this situation, Twitch's largest political streamer, left-wing political streamer, can just fucking outright, promote this kind of stuff on the platform. And it's not even just that. It gets to a point where, imagine being a political streamer and you bring a actual pirate, a actual criminal onto your streams. And instead of, being respectful, being a proper journalist, you get on your knees and suck their dick for about 32 minutes. Watch this.
They win over the crews on these ships, and they win them over with their charm, and they make them hate America and the U.S. government.
That's so funny. Think about China.
What's funny about that? What's funny about that?
You know anything about China?
He's saying he hasn't spent much time with Chinese people, but one of the captain was Chinese, and he did qat with them, and he danced to music with them, and he was vibing. So he likes him, yeah.
So I mean, what? That's so crazy. So they're just fucking chilling with the captains? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate that we're talking about somebody that has been taken hostage, who quote unquote is being chilled with. And again, this is just right on Twitch.
America's like America's like blowing them up while they're just like doing cat and fucking chilling with the captains. Like, how does he feel about that? Isn't that crazy? Like, I don't know how to describe.
Now, these clips were seen 8 months ago on Willie Mack's channel, but you can watch this video right now. Hasan will sit there and hypebeast these people without any care in the world. Like, this man does not critically apply any form of journalism. He is just showing these people and promoting them in this incredibly positive light when there are actually just pirates and terrorists who are putting people in harm's way, especially people that have nothing to do with the Israeli conflict in general. So again, if you want to check it out, Willie Mack's video is great. He covers this topic. I would highly recommend you see this to see actual proper journalism and an actual proper objective coverage of the situation. So he brings this kid on and basically, talks about One Piece. They have a whole like gag and everything. And the thing about this kid is, obviously, if you know him, like this guy is an influencer called Timothée Chalamet. Okay, so the Houthi movement, basically a movement where, again, this kid is part of a piracy organization, where you can see him literally on like actual captured vessels. It's not something that's like a hidden secret. He brought this guy on and basically popularized him.
So Hasan brought on a, as he said, quite literal fucking pirate. A criminal onto his stream and basically glorified his actions. What the actual fuck is wrong with people? Why? What? Like, you had to take multiple steps to even get to that state. It's just not like, oh yeah, I just woke up one day and I'm gonna have a conversation with a fucking terrorist and get him on my show. Like, it had to have built to that at some way. That's crazy. And Twitch allowed it.
Now, before people in the Hasan camp go, but Muda, this kid has seen only suffering his entire life. So obviously,
I don't give a fuck. There is so many people who have experienced so much pain and suffering throughout their entire lives, and they still don't resort to doing some shit like that. Terrorism, kidnapping, imprisonment, any of that shit. Any of that robbery, any of that shit. There are integrity, people. Fucking integrity. I'm about to name this fucking stream integrity. Why people don't fucking have it. Like, for real. Integrity. God damn.
He's going to be part of these situations. And, you're being a little bit harsh. Now, I am one of those people that is empathetic towards individuals, and obviously if this kid has only ever seen death and destruction in his entire life because of the Saudi-Yemen conflict, then yes, I can understand why they would do such a thing, but never in a million years should you as a content creator or a journalist, I guess, or a political...
Never in a million years. Drop that bomb on him. Drop that bomb on him. Tell him what he shouldn't be doing. Tell him what he shouldn't be doing. As a stupid little content creator, bro. And I say stupid loosely in this because this is just blatant stupidity. Like,
political...
You didn't think it would add up, bro? You didn't think people would notice? Like, bro.
Commentator ever bring somebody on and kind of popularize these things, okay? These people are ultimately part of a criminal operation, an enterprise, a terrorist movement that shouldn't be glorified. And it's not similar to interviewing like bin Laden back in 1997 with CNN. These are situations where even back then, these were interviews done respectfully, and it wasn't in a way to glorify anybody who was part of a seriously criminal operation that isn't designated just by one country.
Sitting there laughing and joking.
Of countries.
Yeah, sitting there laughing and joking about it. Like, oh yeah, it's funny. Like, oh yeah, he's just sitting around hanging out with the captain. Like, bro, what? Why are you chuckling at that? Why are you chuckling at that? He's literally talking about kidnapping, or literally talking about imprisoning their captain. It's crazy.
Even countries that are diametrically opposed to each other, you know, politically. These are actual interviews that people do with criminals as a way to get multiple sides of a story. It's not meant to glorify somebody or glorify their cause as something just.
You know, in a way, it's like presenting people like Sneako or Rander Tate, who I've made videos on in the past. It's like if I promote them or talk about them on my channel, it's usually with a very objective view. It's usually with a very careful view where obviously if they promote bad ideologies, right, like hatred or bigotry, it's about sitting there and deconstructing it with actual facts and logic instead of, you know, sitting down and kind of, you know, hype beasting it to the point where you're normalizing it to a whole bunch of communities, right? You know, it's like hosting a neo-Nazi on your actual channel and not combating them on their terrible beliefs or their violent or extremist beliefs, right? You have to be able to counter these people if you're willing to platform them. Otherwise, they just have a free speaker to operate their, you know, shitty beliefs over. And these are things that, again, no matter which side of the political spectrum you fall onto, I would imagine political content creators would be a bit more careful than even average YouTubers. If you got people like me who are just engineers and computer scientists that know better and know how to actually handle these facts, then these people are complete buffoons that shouldn't be operating in this field of content in the first place.
I'm glad somebody fucking said it. Like, you would think that you have a brain on your fucking... You would think that you have a brain on your goddamn shoulders. If you're talking about political things on a United States platform, oh my god, if you are talking ill, if you're just going against any platform that you're on, streaming, whatever, politically, do you not see how politics, or oh my god, do you not see how politicians use their words and pick their words carefully? Because what you're talking about, although you're no politician, you want to sit there and speak on politics and things that are going on. Maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't be using a platform like Twitch to live stream propaganda, hate speech, fucking, oh my god, hate speech of all kinds, and terrorist propaganda. I'm sorry, it just doesn't belong on this platform or on any live streaming platform. There's a difference between, oh, I'm over in this warring country, or I'm over in this bad situation, like for example the flooding that went on in Florida, and people decide finding internet and streaming. I understand why people would want to do that, to show the world like the bad and horrible thing that's going on, but to a degree, no one wants to see mass, I mean, no one wants to experience it or see it online and in person. We understand, but promoting it, talking good about it, saying like United States people, like the government, like the military, deserve what they get when it comes to PTSD and all that, that's a straight deplorable take, especially given from someone who lives in the United States as it is. If you are not enjoying, you know, the freedoms that you get to enjoy while living here, then why not just leave our country then? Just leave the country. Seriously. Take your running the fucking United States military through the mud somewhere fucking else. Period. Take that shit somewhere else. You don't like it? You don't like the people who actually have given you the freedoms that you have, that you're enjoying from the comfort of your California chair? Then fucking leave. Fucking leave. Or experience PTSD. Like, that's crazy. Just fucking leave. Just fucking leave. We don't need you here. We don't need people like that in the country. That sounds like we just don't need that kind of negativity. It's just terrible.
Now, that same guy that Hassan was kind of sucking the dick off basically was out there posting the executions we will carry out on all Zionists in this situation. Now, one could sit down and probably say, yeah, he's probably talking about, just Zionists, not Jews in specific. But, looking into this person and the Houthi movement and the group in particular, the idea of anti-Zionism is also conflated with, like, anti-Semitism in this situation as well. It's just more hateful rhetoric that is being constantly pushed down anyone's feed. I think hate from any angle is bad. But this guy is not necessarily any innocent, party. Now, obviously, Twitch, who is in such a weird state right now, has decided to let this guy constantly stream, and from what I understand, even unban the account, to which he's an actual streamer on Twitch right now.
This entire conversation is fucking idiotic.
No way.
It's not a Jewish person. He said, why am I held accountable for some random fucking...
Because you platformed him. How fucking hard is that?
Yeah.
You're the one that put him on your channel unapologetically and then memed with him about One Piece. Didn't ask him one single critical question. That's you. You did that. I'm criticizing you. You're not accountable for him. You're accountable for yourself.
Now, honestly, that's probably
1,000,001%. What that guy does, where he is at, that's his damn business. But you, as the streamer, as the one who has the big following on a major platform that thousands of people watch, why the fuck are you putting that in front of their eyes? Why are you making that? Why are you putting that in front of their eyes and then not asking the critical questions and actually...
probably the best way to put it. Thank you,
Best way to put it,
for
bro.
saying it like
Best
that.
way to put it.
At the end of the day, it kind of almost harkens back to, again, hey, listen, if you're going to put somebody on your channel, you really should be able to counter them on their terrible beliefs. These are the same people that would say if you have like 10 people at a table and one of them are Nazis and you're not countering that Nazi on his terrible beliefs, then congratulations, you have 10 Nazis at that table. These are the same people that would say it, and I feel like you should hold people to that same accountability. And honestly, if you come across violent or hateful rhetoric, you should be combating it. Like, you 100% should.
What's even fucking wild is when discussing this person in a very recent interview with Asmongold, like when they were talking about why Asmongold had his, like, wild takes. This is what Hassan had to say about that pirate. Watch this.
We're not like, oh, you're trans, we're gonna kill you. They were like, oh, thank you for your fucking humanitarian aid. They don't give a shit. Like, it's the same as any other kind of person. I talked to a teenager from Yemen, okay, who everyone called, myself included, called Timothy Charlemagne or Chalamet.
Is that the One Piece one?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now this kid is like, I think he was like 19 at the time when I talked to him, which means that for most of his life he has withstood genocide, right?
Sure.
Like he is a person whose only experience is like, it's literally like talking to fucking Anne Frank, basically.
Oh,
whoa.
Yeah. Where's that part of Anne Frank's
whoa,
where she was also raiding ships? Like, these are things where, again, yes, in one way, it's kind of like this weird hyperbolic individual where, like, he'll, he has, like, kind of a point. Both these people are young. They've seen death and destruction their entire life. And you can almost empathize with somebody who is doing a bad thing, is part of a terrible movement, is part of a terrible group that is actually committing crimes. And you can understand why they do it because of the, world that they've lived in. But then to compare it to, like, Anne Frank, who, again, is a pacifist in comparison, is just insane shit. And it's weird because, like, it's in one of these situations where when it comes to, like, people like Hassan, we've had him on, like, the podcast, the Some Ordinary podcast, one of the first actual, like, big guests. And on that show, what's insane to me is, like, look, people like Frogan, people like Asmongold, I would say that they're pretty stupid in understanding these situations. I'm stupid. Hassan, however, is not. This guy knows better.
Yet he just purposefully goes and obfuscates things like this. It's insane. Now, again, I don't want to jump and make this like a super political video because, again, I'm not equipped to even discuss this kind of stuff, but I am somebody that has basically been seeing a lot of this, like, you know, insane side of the internet effectively take over and become so normalized. Now, in the situation, you know, like I've said before, and I've been clipped.
Which it shouldn't be. This should be the farthest thing from the fucking norm. Take like this being a regular thing that just keeps happening on Twitch, on other platforms, period, is ridiculous. It shouldn't be the norm. Like, no one likes seeing it, no one likes hearing it, no one likes experiencing it or being a part of it. So just why does it keep happening? Ugh.
A few times, and you know, even when I stream, you know, videos do get uploaded of my takes on situations that I feel like I need to clarify. I'm not somebody that is afraid to say that genocide is wrong. I think that there is an actual case of, you know, genocide, and there's an actual case of attack that goes towards the Palestinian people. I think there's very serious situations that go around the world. Now, at the same time, these are situations that involve, you know, a group of people, Muslims and Jews, that have effectively been at each other's throats for not just decades, but hundreds of years. It's why when I talk about these situations in a nuanced conflict, I say that, listen, you are talking about hundreds of years of, like, just institutional dislike between each other. If you've ever grown up Muslim, and I have, then you know that there is a serious culture of anti-Semitism, you know, in amongst the most conservative of Muslim circles. Just as you will know that there is a serious amount of Islamophobia in the most right-wing of Jewish circles. These are two groups of people that literally are just fighting each other. And it's not going to change until, like, the youth grow up and realize that this kind of hatred towards each other doesn't really meld well. And when it comes to people dying,
doesn't meld well. You're not gonna gain anything from it. You guys going at each other's throats. Really not, like, it's
in a conflict zone like
not
Gaza
good.
right now, there is literally nothing that I feel other than sadness for men, women, and children needlessly dying for no reason.
Exactly.
It's why that, you know, time and time again, I donate as much as I can to aid. You know, even going, you know, like tens of thousands of dollars.
I wish.
Just to make sure that people who need medical assistance, and I vet my charities the best that I can, to assist people in really shitty situations. I don't make it a big deal to talk about it because I don't think donating money should be constantly promoted in the sense that, you know, are you really doing it to help people, or are you doing it to make yourself look better in the eyes of the world? But it's the tiniest thing that I can do in order to make sure that, you know, maybe somebody who needs medical assistance in a part of the world where they literally can, you know, literally it is one of the most, like, sought after needs, can get some attention. And it's one conflict that I hope before I die, things can kind of change. Now, ultimately, I really do think that Twitch is fucking cooked when it comes to this kind of stuff. The clips that I've seen the last few days have been downright disgusting to witness. One of the things that I noticed on my phone, and my wife actually saw this too, was I opened up the health app on my phone. And I guess I did a questionnaire. And inside my questionnaire, I was actually, like, diagnosed. Well, I wouldn't say diagnosed, but the questionnaire rated me as moderately severe to depression. And I don't recall myself ever being in that route or in that stage. There was a video that a creator I respect, known as Jacksepticeye, made a couple days ago titled Help, where he talked about the internet and toxicity, and most importantly, the mental health associated with it. Now, I think the world's a bad place.
And the internet is even worse. It's a million times more toxic. It's everyone's unfiltered opinions in their most vulgar and disgustive states. Like, the internet's pretty bad. If you spend all of your time literally on the internet, it is without a doubt unquestionable that you are going to see something, come across something that is going to leave some type of impression on you, and affect your opinion in some way, shape, or form. You spend all your time on there. You don't think it controls you? After a certain point, you're not controlling your device is controlling you. And the horrible thing, I was literally just thinking about that just from this stream today. I have seen so much negativity from just hopping on my Just Chatting and going through the news that's going on, there is so much negative shit going on constantly. I was on my game on cloud freaking 9, living my best life, yo. Down in boss after boss after boss. I hop off to do some Just Chatting for like 2 hours, and it's just straight negativity after negativity. I understand what this man's coming from. That survey that you took could be accurate on your mental health for real. For real. It's sad, but it could be right.
You know, I know that I put a lot of smiles on things. I know that I laugh a lot, and you know, I really do try to put like the best smile forward. Okay, my goal is to make you laugh. My goal is to make people smile and be happy. But I do sometimes believe the world is a bad place. And I think a lot of the social media platforms like Twitch, like Twitter, like a lot of these places have promoted the most insane rhetoric, like this hateful rhetoric, rage bait, actual toxic content.
Rage, clickbait.
And it's done nothing but throw people down a shit rabbit hole. When I look at Asmongold's, like, you know, statements that he made a few days ago, it reminds me of growing up as a kid. You know, post 9/11. You know, that level of, you know, Islamophobia, I guess, if one wants to say it. It's not something that I have not seen, you know, before. I've seen tons of people hate for no reason. I have seen tons of people bring up
I've seen tons. I'm right there with you. I've seen tons of people hate for no reason too. I've seen tons of people hate my entire life for literally no reason. But it is what it is. I mean, you just push through it. People are going to hate no matter what. People will hate just because they don't got what you got. They'll hate you just because you got something that they want. They will hate you for it. And if there's nothing that they can definitively hate you for, some people will just make up shit just to have something to actually to hate you for. And it could be something completely made up that's intangible, that's not real or whatever. Hold a candle to the light at all.
this divide. And I don't know what the solution to it, but it really has brought me back to realizing what I like the most about my channel. I don't want to kind of make any more of this kind of content covering these kind of people. This will probably be the last time that I ever want to aim making this kind of content or discussing these kind of things. But I think it's an important discussion to have. No matter where you stand on these situations, you can call me a fence sitter or like, you know, fucking centrist or whatever the hell. But I really do think that no matter what side you're on, no matter what your beliefs are, any hateful rhetoric like this shouldn't be tolerated by anybody on the platform. It really shouldn't. Because if you want to talk about dividing people and keeping hate alive, it's literally this rhetoric that keeps us going. It's this kind of negativity on the internet, and this kind of negativity that people like, I think, Hassan Frogan and, you know, Sneeko and all these people promote that I really think should be avoided. This kind of doomer stuff is stuff that really shouldn't.
Yep.
I feel like the more people that consume it, the more they fall down into this rabbit hole.
Exactly.
And the worse it really ends up being for them mentally. Look, at the end of the day, for my channel, I'm some ordinary gamers. And, you know, I like to make a community that involves everyone to be a part of it. One of the things I like about video games is, you know, growing up, playing them online, the anonymity has always really stripped away these immutable characteristics. And that would be race, religion, identity. And because of the anonymity that online gaming has really provided, or really this community, you know, whether you be on like a message board talking about Shin Megami Tensei or really any random game, you strip away those immutable characteristics and you realize at the end of the day, all human beings really are the same people. You know, you bleed the same. You know, if my body was chopped in half, I would look the same inside as anybody else, regardless of their immutable characteristics.
We're all just people wearing meat suits, baby. That's all it is. And we're not, there's no black, white, there's no different shades of nothing. There's no color, no race. We're all just different shades of wheat. Like, take your lightest person, take your darkest person. Look at the the color code, look at the color palette of basically wheat, and you'll get majority, if not all, of every single shade that a human is. We just people. We all the same. The way the division that people have built up over the years between each other, with each other, when it comes to race, ethnicity, religion, all that stuff, it makes no sense. Why should my skin tone, race, or why should my skin tone, my beliefs, my culture, my background affect you, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your life, and where you're going, your opinions on any of that? Why are the two in the same ballpark when they're not even on the same spectrum? It has never made sense to me growing up why there was any type of racism or anything like that. There's plenty of like movies and stuff, like, don't get me wrong, I understand slavery and all that extra stuff from the past, but I didn't even understand it when I would watch it back then, where the division would come from. Because at the end of the day, all the horrible things that would happen back then, like he's saying, cut a body in half, cut a black guy in half, cut a white guy in half, cut an Indian guy in half, cut an Asian guy in half, cut anybody in fucking half. Look at their innards. We are all the same. We all bleed the same. Same color, same everything. The only difference in our blood is blood type. I don't understand the amount of hate and disgust that people have towards each other for these small differences that don't actually affect anyone else other than the person that it is with. Oh, my skin is 3 shades darker than yours. Does that affect you? No, it doesn't even affect me. It's just a shade. We both go out in the sun the same. We both go and do this and that the same. Like, the hate speech, the hate, the negative shit, it has to stop. It's legit the reason why I stopped watching regular TV news and shit like that as a kid. I stopped watching any type of news, anything like that, as a kid. Because all I've noticed was it's just straight negative after negative after. Why don't we ever talk about anything positive? That's why in my previous video about Asman himself talking about how he wants to do things more positive, change his life for the better, in a better positive light, that also comes with the quality of the videos that he's watching and content that he's putting out on his stream. He does watch a lot of his Reddit, and literally the one thing that I said in my one video, in my video about him, or about his break that he has to take, or his ban, is people should be flooding his Reddit with positive videos and good, interesting, high quality videos that promote positivity, to give him, to give him an easier time when it comes to watching content, helping with his mental and shit like that. Granted, are people going to do that? No, they're just going to send everything that they seem might be entertaining and shit like that. But at the end of the day, I really hope that he does go through the time and finds the things that are positive and tries to focus more on those. Because this shit, just like he says, him not wanting to cover any more of this negative shit, I'm the same. The reason why I didn't even want to cover majority of things that pop up on Reddit is because a lot of the shit, if it's not funny, it's almost always negative. If it's not funny, if it's not giving someone a ha-ha laugh, for some reason, the news has to post always some negative shit. And when you want to see something positive, you have to dig so hard, so damn hard, to find the quality, good, positive things that are going on. And it shouldn't be that way. It should be the exact opposite. It should be the exact opposite, especially when it comes to everyday content that people everyday average people, because that's all these fucking streamers are. That's all of them people are, is average ass people streaming. Doesn't matter if you're a big streamer, you're still just an everyday average Joe. Why does all of your content have to be negative? Make it positive, please. If you can make content, good content off of something that's negative, why can't you do it off of something that's positive? More people on the planet should try to make this shift, but they just don't. It's just, there's just so much negativity in the world that it's just easier for people to make content off of the negativity. But I'm in agreement with you, dude. I'm so beyond seeing any of this shit, any of this negativity, hearing about it, wanting to be a part of it, hearing about it, making content on it. I don't even want to make content on it. I want to make content and have a community based around positivity, good things, health, happiness, you know, promoting for like, oh my God. Promoting happiness, promoting good things, you know? Oh, man. Like, the vitality and quality of the stream should just be good. No more negative shit, please.
Hanging on to these constant hateful rhetorics on the internet is what's ultimately causing us a divide. And I think it's what causes us to be so separated.
Causes divide, causes depression, causes people to have mental issues when it comes to themselves, causes people to have body issues, mental issues. There's so many issues that come with and that's associated with the internet that no one even bothers to fucking maintain and deal with. It's just everyone has access to the internet. Everyone can do whatever, which is fine. Free speech is great. But holy shit, can we please get a handle on how much mental illness is caused actually by the internet? There is such thing as a little bit too much information because of the fact of not all information is correct, all information. Not all information is good information. It can create immediate problems just by being information, whether it's false or positive.
And distrustful. You know, to look at Jacksepticeye's video, it's not that
whether it's false or truthful, not false or positive.
The internet has become more hateful. It's that a lot of this hateful rhetoric that, you know, people are promoting on the platforms,
just
it
the norm.
used to be something that you would see on like a random message board or some fringe website on the internet.
Yep.
But to see the kind of clips that we saw today exist on the front page of Twitch, Reddit, most of the mainstream social media platforms, it might be what's contributing to the worst humanity is kind of seeing. You know, I uninstalled Twitter and left it because of how weird it got on the platform, and it's probably been the best for my mental health. And, you know, to see...
Respectfully, I haven't been on Twitter in a grip because I already knew a long time ago about the, like, freedom of speech. Yeah, I'm for Elon Musk and his opinion with freedom of speech and having a platform that should do all this and that. But Twitter's pretty goddamn toxic. Like, people just go on there and just regurgitate massive amounts of nonsense. And it's quite ridiculous. So I don't even bother with the platform. I have an account, but I don't even bother with the platform.
On Twitch, the kind of rhetoric being promoted that is...
And this was before Elon Musk even took over the company. That I just stopped messing with Twitter in general. A lot of fake accounts, a lot of spam, a lot of exactly what we're watching, crap like this.
From the other opposite political end, you know, when you're talking about service operators getting PTSD, when you're talking about promoting hateful terrorist music videos to like random individuals, these are things that probably should exist in Clown World, but they exist in actual reality.
In fucking Clown World.
I'm sure that I'm probably going to have a pretty divisive comment section going down into this video, and I'm kind of interested in reading it. But to going forward, this is my last time I really want to make content, you know, ever covering this kind of stuff. And I pledge, at least for the remainder of my time here on YouTube, I want to go back to like, I really want to just do a deep web video now every week because things were a lot more simpler when I was reading through fucking goofy shit on the internet. I really want to play some random PS2 games, and I think I'm just going to do that this week and the next week and the week after that.
Bro, I don't blame you.
But yeah, this is me, Mutahar, and I'm not going to ask you to like this video, comment, or dislike, or subscribe, or anything of that nature. But
craziest part is he didn't ask on the last one either. He didn't even ask on the last one either. Every single time he has to cover one of these crappy situations, these crappy topics, he can't even, he doesn't even want to. He's just like, yeah, I don't even want it. I don't want it. It's like you watched the video, cool. Glad you enjoyed the video. I was like, I don't really need the like for this. Like, this is some really gross stuff. I feel you, bro. I feel you.
I do want you guys to think about the content you're consuming and the kinds of people that, are on these platforms, especially Twitch. Anyways, I'm out.
That was a good video. And you know what? I don't care what you said. I'm going to go give you a like. Let me go like this video.
Abortion decisions in
This is a very good video.
Pennsylvania are
I
between
agree
women
with-
and their doctors.
I agree with so much that this man has said in this video. It's outrageous. And I truly hope that social media in some way, sense or another, cleans itself up a bit. At least a little bit. Because I can't watch any more of this shit. I just can't. So, that's going to be it for me tonight. And honestly, 10 minutes under an 8-hour stream. All good. The Wukong was great. I crapped on a whole bunch of bosses. I'm glad we moved in the right direction. Fino freaking Lee. When it comes to just chatting, though, when it comes to me covering news and reactions and stuff like that, I think from now on, I'm only going to focus on things that keep my mood in a positive light. Good, funny, happy stuff. Because I'm not going to lie, this genuinely brought my mood from up here to like, I was up here when I started the stream. I'm like here now. Not down here, but I'm like here now. It was just back to back political Twitch forming or Twitch banning, just a whole lot of disgusting, deplorable nonsense that it's a horrible way to have to end want to end the stream at night on. But I just can't sit there and watch anymore. I'm